We're here with Kun Paddy, who's the Managing Director of CSB Company. And CSB Company focuses on fashion clothing, right?
Yeah.
So maybe just to start, Kun Paddy, could you please tell us a little bit about CSB? How long have you been in business?
I've been in business for 5 years, but my parents have been in this business for more than 20 years.
Okay, so you have a great history, 20 years in fashion in Bangkok. Fashion's a very important industry in Thailand as well. How did you get involved in the fashion industry?
Mainly because I like to dress up and stuff. Yeah, so I like to buy women's clothes all the time. So I'm kind of interested in this field a lot.
The company's been for 20 years. You got interested because you like fashion, but there's quite a big gap from liking fashion to becoming the managing director of a fashion company. so can you tell us a bit about that journey? What happened there?
Actually, it started when I graduated from undergraduate university, and then I want to have my own online brand.
Sure.
Yeah, so I start with my bigger sister to make our little project, and then at first we had this really big problem that we had to hire other outsource to sew our product, and then it didn't really go well, the quality and everything. So that's why that's the first point that we decided to starting to train our own staff here to make so that we can control our quality.
Perfect. So how many staff do you have now that you've trained up and employed in your own company?
Around 50 staff here.
Oh, congratulations. Things must be going well in 5 years to go from a concept to now having 50 staff. That's quite an achievement. Well done. So what are some examples of your best-selling products?
It's our women's wear. So this pants here, for example, and this skirt, and this dress here.
Yeah. Right.
So mainly premium quality product.
Right, they look beautiful and the fabric's really nice. So I can see there's also a polo shirt here, and actually along the rack you've got so many different styles, right from sort of casual to the really beautiful. This could be worn in an office or in a night out. What was it that led you to do such different designs? Is this based on customer request, or is this something that you design into the business yourself?
Actually, at the beginning, so my parents, they're doing this polo and uniform product.
Okay.
And then when I started my own online design brand.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I started to make women's clothes and stuff. So we ordered raw material, raw fabric from outsource. Okay.
Is your raw material made in Thailand, or is it imported?
Yeah, made in Thailand.
Made in Thailand.
Yes,
Great.
100% in Thailand.
Cool. All right.
Okay. And this is the embroidery room.
Okay.
So for uniforms and stuff, we
Sure.
do about on the
Right.
t-shirts. Yeah.
Does uniform production, is that a big part of your business?
Yeah.
Yeah. About in percentage.
50%.
Wow.
Yeah.
50% of your customers come to you looking for uniform
Yes.
production. Great. Good market. I imagine that if you've got a customer buying uniforms from you, they probably buy again from you, order the same again and again, right?
Every year.
Every year,
Yes.
order the same uniform again.
Yes.
Good customer. Great. So your raw materials, is it polyester fabric or cotton, or what do you focus on?
Actually, we do all of
Do anything, right?
yeah, everything,
Great.
but mostly cotton. Yeah,
Okay.
100% cotton.
Okay. Perfect.
And inside here is the pattern maker.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, doing the pattern making. Because when we start, making one top here, we need to make paper pattern first.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so then if a customer comes with you with a new design, then one of the first things you do with them is make the paper pattern
Yeah.
to their design.
Yes.
Right. Okay, great. Okay, so after your pattern makers have followed the paper pattern and cut the fabric, then they bring those pieces up here, and what's the process here on the second floor?
So this is the sewing area.
Okay.
So when we start making one clothes here, we need our sample maker to make like to show like one sample of our like clothes first.
Okay, got it. So this is the sample making over here. So let's have a look at what he's doing. So his this is a new product for a new customer. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I just guessed that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He's like the best we have got.
He's the best one,
Yeah,
right?
because he has to, look at the pattern and imagine like from the drawing.
Right.
So how it's gonna look like. Yeah.
Right. So he's responsible for bringing the idea to the first sample, right? So his job here, about how long does it take him to make a sample from the cutting guys?
In average, it's around like he can make up to 3 samples per one day.
In one day?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
If it's not too difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, right. If I come to you with a very complex dress or something, it's probably take a bit longer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Okay, so then after the samples have been cut, then you move it over here to the sewing area, and maybe you can tell us a bit about what the sewing area does.
So here's the team of the sewing area. So once the sample is confirmed, we have got our head here. So she will like order like who is gonna be responsible for making this dress, for example. Yeah, and she will like manage like okay, so they will sew in like parts, Yeah.
So does this mean that when you have a new product in your factory, you do production specific to that product? So it's like if I've got a shirt, you'll make a little team for that shirt.
Yeah.
And then if somebody comes and wants pants, you'll make a little team for the pants.
Yeah, sure, yeah, you've got that. So it should be like maximum for like 3, not more than like 3 people per one team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So does that mean as well that you do batch production? So if you're making shirts, you wouldn't do production like one shirt, one pants, one dress, another shirt. Instead, you do 100 shirts, 100 dresses, 100 pants.
Yeah, it depends on the amount as well.
Yeah. Depend on volume, but
Yeah,
you
volume.
build them all together at the same time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All right. Okay, so how many teams? Like I'm looking here, we've got maybe 12 people,
Yeah,
something like this.
13 people here. This is our women's team.
Okay.
So they're like mainly making like women's wear. This one here, they're like making like premium product here.
Okay.
So they have to iron stuff like all the time. So
Okay.
iron and sewing, iron and sewing.
Oh,
like,
so you
yeah.
have to move the material off the production line to iron it in between the process.
Yeah, in the process.
Okay. But that works for your business because actually the floor space is not that big. So if I need to pick up the material here and move it offline and iron it and move it back, it's probably only a few minutes.
Yeah. That's true.
How long does it take you to train your staff? Like, do you have a training period that you have to put your staff to training, anything like that?
We have like men's clothes and women's clothes.
Right.
So for men's clothes is like much easier.
Right.
So it will take us for like a month to train them.
Okay.
But for women's clothes it's more like difficult. So around like 3 months.
Right. Hear that? 1 month? 1 month for men?
Yeah.
And 3 months for women. You guys are complicated, huh? So here we are. This is now some of the finished product that's just off the production line.
Yes. So some products here, she will have to sew it by hand as well.
Okay.
Yeah, before like packing, ironing and packing it.
Right. Okay, so there's like a final hand stitching process just to finish the garment. I guess here as well they may be checking for like loose threads that they need to cut or the finishing touch. And then I can see there's some here in plastic bag. Is this normal for your package?
Yeah, it's normal.
Okay.
And we have to QC it as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they do quality here as
Quality
well.
check as
Right.
well.
How do you control quality for your customers? What is the way that you measure if a product is good or bad at your production?
Mainly is the size. The size is the most important part.
Do you have like a tolerance, what's okay and not okay?
0.5 inches.
Okay.
Tolerance, yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, so 0.5 inches. If it's 0.6, it's no. If it's 0.4, it's okay. And then these guys, when they're doing their inspection, do they have like a sample that they follow, or how do they know what is quality or what's not quality?
Oh yeah, sure. Like she'll have like this, for example, this sample,
Uh-huh.
and then she'll have to follow all of this.
Yeah, right.
In order.
Okay, very good. So that means if they've got a sample right there to check, then the quality is kind of consistent all the time because they can reference the sample against every piece.
So the sample must be like 100% perfect.
Right. Great. Well, I can see it looks perfect from here. Okay, and I can see you've got some machines here that are not being used at the moment. What is this production area for?
Actually, because this is for sewing as well, but they're like, you know, different, I mean, what do you call it? Objective.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So
okay.
sometimes they walk like to here and they just walk back.
Okay, so this is a different type of machine, and if they need that process, they can bring it here, use the new machine or the other machine, and then go back and forth.
Yeah.
Right. So even though this looks empty right now, it's probably not empty all day. It's people coming and going.
Like walking back and forth.
Right.
This is the button making. You know.
Oh yeah, he does the buttons.
Yeah.
Right. What does the packaging look like? Can I see like an order that's ready to ship? Have you got one that we can see? So you put them all in this big plastic bag.
Yes.
So inside here we've got the order.
Yes.
All the different shirts that this customer ordered from you, or dresses.
Yes.
And they're each in plastic. And then you put all of them together in one plastic bag.
Yes.
And then that plastic bag goes to the customer.
Yes.
In 1 month, about how many products do you make, or how much fabric do you use?
For menswear, we can produce up to like 50,000 pieces.
That's a lot. Right.
Yeah, because actually we have like one more branch like out of Bangkok as well. But then for women's wear is around like 2,000 pieces.
You're mainly selling into Thailand, or do you sell all around the world? Where are your customers usually from?
So 80% would be in Thailand, but some would be, you know, our neighborhood like Laos, Myanmar. Like Malaysia, yes, mainly in Asia.
Right. So do you sell anything to any Western countries? Do you have any customers in Europe or in America or Australia?
Oh yeah, actually we have some from United States, like from America.
Okay. And then I guess like for your customers who are buying from you, how do you manage them? Do you sell them designs that you already have, or do they come to you with their own design? How do you work through that process?
Mostly they just come with their own design.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then we manage to, you know, make sample and do production for them. Yeah.
And what would a customer need to start with you? So if I've got this idea for a great looking guy's t-shirt, and I've never done fashion before, so I don't know where to start, is that okay, or how do I start my relationship with you?
Yeah, that's okay, because most people will be like that, most of our customers. So I will ask our customer to bring like the samples they like. Yeah, like for example, you like this size and you like this, you know, color, and you know, yeah, we kind of like talk from the samples, and then some they're good at drawing, so they'll draw like what they want. Okay. But then like some I would draw it for them. Okay. So yes.
Great. So if I've got my design, I come to you, and then you can kind of play Lego with other features, right? So like I like the collar of this shirt, but I like the cufflink on that shirt. Yeah, can you put them together on my shirt, right? Yeah. And then from there you create your customer's product.
Yes.
I'm also wondering if I can maybe ask you some questions around the coronavirus situation. That's obviously huge in the media right now, and creating a lot of worry. Have you heard of this from your customers or from your supply chain? Is there any impact to your business?
Actually, quite a lot. Yeah. Mainly for our raw materials, we have to try to stock like the fabric, like because some they import from China. Right. So I try to stock like some fabric and, you know, accessories as well. And for our customers, they're like so worried about this virus. Yeah, because it's like way harder to sell like stuff nowadays. So
most of your customers, and I imagine in Thailand and in the neighborhood, as you call it, I love that term, of the surrounding countries, they would be retail or online, or how do they normally sell?
Both, like retail and online, but mainly online. Mainly
online. All right, and they're also noticing impact as well from all the news about coronavirus. They're finding it slower to sell their product.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right, good. Well, that gives us a good understanding. We have staff in China, and what we're hearing is that in the last week or 2 weeks, 90% of the factories are back to work, so that's encouraging. Hopefully Q1 is a one-off event, and hopefully the rest of the year will improve. So, hopefully you see a similar upturn in Q2 and 3.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, well, as I said, thanks so much for your time, and it's wonderful to meet you and to see your business. For anybody wanting to find your company or to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Just go online, search like www.csbgarment.com. Yes.
Okay, csbgarment.com, and ask for Kun Patty, and she'll help you take your wonderful fashion idea through production and into market. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much as well.
Great.